Sawadee krap. Welcome to All About Thailand by me. Mandatory face mask mandate has been lifted in Thailand. Yes, you heard it right. You heard it right. Mandatory face mask wearing has been lifted in Thailand. It came unexpectedly, and if you've seen my last video, I've expected easing of mask wearing mandate going to be in place from the 1st of July, but it happened before. Today is the 25th of June, and from the 24th, everyone can decide. It's going to be up to everyone's discretion in Thailand if they want to wear a face mask in public. The face mask, voluntary face mask wearing, it's not that simple. So I will go into the depths of this question, this matter. But basically, it's better than I expected. It's much better because I expected from the 1st of July, the government will come out. And first of all, I would like to mention, it was in the Royal Gazette, so it's official. Whatever I say, whatever I tell you, it's going to be official now. It's not hopefully not going to change. For a while, it's definitely not going to change. And so if right now you are in Thailand, then throw your mask. Not too far though. So these are the buts. You don't have to wear a face mask in public. And again, what I expected is going to be eased for doing exercise, walking in the park. But now it's up to your discretion with exceptions. Schools, government offices or government places, including hospitals, of course, healthcare establishments, you still must wear a face mask. Schools, you have to, and I just don't know. Anyway, probably because kids are together, many people. So the main thing is it's not that simple because businesses, venues, companies can have their own rules or their own requirements. And if you wouldn't speak this Thai kind of language, I will translate it to you. Basically, everywhere you can expect everywhere to have their own rules. Wherever you will go, they might gonna ask you to please put your mask on, please use a face mask, please cover your face. So that's why I said it's not that simple. And don't throw your mask too far away. Have it in your pocket. Hopefully businesses will realize the sooner they stop requiring customers to wear a face cover or face mask. So it's not even face cover, face mask. The better going to be for their business. And it's going to be a good test also because I don't expect most of Thai people going to get rid of their masks. Some possibly from day one, and I know people, they from day one, they threw their mask away and they were enjoying quite fairly walking without. But many Thais, I bet they still going to wear a face mask for a good while until they hopefully realize that without the face mask is just as good and just as safe. All right, so companies can decide, and venues. So if you go to a restaurant and they ask you to wear a face mask, you must comply. It's their own rules. It's the same as with just forget about mask. If a company or if an establishment, a venue has their rules for entry or to entry, then you need to comply. It's the same with the face mask, so nothing really changed. The main thing is, and it's really good. So as I mentioned before, I expected it's going to be some kind of lifting slowly. You know what? From today, from the 1st of July, yeah, you are allowed to walk around in the park without the mask, or you can exercise without. But this was actually surprised me, and I think we're going to the right direction. So the Thai government, what they announced before the 1st of July, and it was complete lifting of mask wearing. Have to wear them at government office or offices or government establishment. That's again something which I've mentioned, if you remember in my previous videos. It's about governments don't want to risk anything. So I mean, the Thai government doesn't want to risk anything, so they don't want people to complain, possibly like well, I visited your office and yeah, 2 days later I've got COVID, what's going on? Probably it's just for protect themselves. If it wasn't like this, the political, I don't know, background in Thailand at the moment, that, I don't know, let's say hot, hot and filled with protests and unhappy people, then possibly it wouldn't be mandatory. Healthcare places, establishments, hospitals, GPs, offices, I think it's quite understandable. They're going to require. It doesn't matter what you think or what I think. It kind of, all right. Let's say it makes sense. So if I don't have to wear it anymore out in the street, then well, it's fine. One more thing. I wanted to mention, how could things change so rapidly in 2020 when the pandemic was, I don't know, the pandemic was the highest, and all countries had their worst or their most severe restrictions. Thailand was basically free because officially there were no local infections. So getting into Thailand in 2020 was like the hardest thing in the world. But once you got into Thailand, once you were in the country, everything was like there was no pandemic. You couldn't notice. Everything was open. There were temperature checks, but that's it. Automatic temperature checks. You walk through the door, and in front of the door there is like this automatic temperature check. This click machine, and off you go. Which I've noticed always show 36.7, 36.5. Always the same for everyone. All right, that's fine. So in 2020, from not wearing masks at all and everything is open and life is as normal as it could be, as it could possibly be. And the very end of 2020, the government asked people to wear face masks, and by April, you had to wear face masks everywhere, but like everywhere. It was absolutely crazy. And from not wearing face masks, they got to the point when people wore face masks if they went to scuba diving. I saw a video, the people were scuba diving in Thailand with face masks on, and also these, I don't want to say crazy rules, but let's just say extremely strict measures from the government, who requested you to wear face masks everywhere, including in your car, even if you were with your wife, with your kids. So even if you were with people who basically you share food, house, it was time to get lifted indeed. And yeah, it got lifted. So no more mandatory mask wearing or face mask wearing mandates in Thailand. This is absolutely beautiful, and it was definitely time. And let's hope more steps like this going to come, unexpected easing of restrictions, and eventually the big thing, the big announcement. I was really disappointed last time we didn't get the announcement about the endemic, so declaring COVID-19 as an endemic. So let's lift this pandemic, let's lift the emergency degree, which was just extended, I think, day before yesterday on the 23rd of June. It's not going to happen. There is still emergency degree in Thailand, and there is no news about declaring COVID-19 as an endemic. And that would be the great news. That would be the greatest news if everything would go back to normal. But again, please watch my previous video when I mentioned what easing going to be, including no more Thailand pass, no more insurance. And we are heading to the right direction. And even now, many people, I know they're booking their tickets to Thailand, and they're going to Thailand after the 1st of July, when no more Thailand pass, no more insurance. It's still going to be testing though. It's still going to be the atmosphere of the pandemic, and people are still going to be cautious. And I'm sure many Thai people are going to be cautious with foreigners. It's still not going to be back to normal. But again, this is again a huge step, I think. And I don't know, lifting the mandatory face mask wearing in Thailand is a great thing. It's a great thing. It's going to be very well welcomed, I think, by every or most of the foreigners or most of the tourists in the country or most of the people who are planning to visit Thailand. I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe the channel, like the video, please support my work and help to grow the channel. And whoever done that before, liking, subscribing, thank you so much. And everyone who got to this point, just thank you so much for watching the video. Have a lovely day. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ